Welcome friends to the day 2 of the video course on using your power of mind to help raise your productivity, to help the CEOs, corporate executives to really lift their growth, their business growth to the higher orbit. Today we'll be talking on the benefits of power of mind and what is the power of mind. Okay, let me ask you, what is that the mind does? In fact, you know how much the mind works? All the work that you do is done by your mind. I mean, that's why we are called intellectual workers. We no more do carpentry work. We no more do luhari work, right? So it's very, very few small percentage of the people of our country are actually the labor works. But most of us who are actually the brain workers. Now, I want you to really look at how do you prepare your mind? You prepare yourself in the morning. Yeah, you dress up, you select the dress, you select whatever. So many things about you so that your meeting, your presence is felt during the day by the customers, by whoever the visitors or wherever you are attending, right? So external appearance, you take so much of care. But who works during those meetings? Who takes those decisions? It's your mind. Now, do you prepare your mind before you start off for your work? Food for thought. Yes, how many of you feel that they have really been using the power of mind and preparing well? Kindly say yes in the chat box. Yes, I'll be happy to see those and will be happy to interact with you all. How have been your experience? Let me give you an example. You know, the power of mind. When you want to have some action, let's say you want a glass of water, right? Now, the glass of water, the mind first decides that I want to have a water, and then it instructs the hand, and then hand moves, picks up, brings close to your mouth, and then mouth can start drinking water. So you can imagine the quick action taken by mind. Now that's what you do even at your work. When you want to call a customer, right? The mind decides the importance of a particular activity, decides to call a particular customer, looks up the number, locates the number on your phone or the secretary's phone, and then dials. And then you get the ring and then you pick it up. So look at all the steps which the mind has been doing. But you think that it's automatic. Yes, very little we are aware of the power of mind. We think our power of mind is the blessing from the God. It is given, nothing more we can change. We are born with that power. Now that's a kind of a understanding, belief that we have. But look at an automobile and a driver, right? The driver decides at what speed it should move, at 60, at 100, at 120, 150, what route it should take. Should it go slow? Should it stop? Should it jump the signal? Who does? Not the automobile. It's the driver. So the driver is all powerful. Though driver is being moved, facilitated for moving by the automobile, but the decision maker is the driver. So is it true for us. The mind seems to be sitting nowhere, you don't know, but that is doing subtly all your decision making. You have never been aware. In fact, the psychologists have said you know only 10% of your mind, which is your conscious mind-based activities, is what you know. The 90% of the mind's thinking, even actions, are subconsciously done, right? Like your breathing, you're not doing anything. It is automatically been done. When you're driving, you're talking on a mobile, subconsciously maybe the driving is going on and your mind is on the top. So there's a huge power of mind which is untapped. So we'll be talking of those in coming sessions, coming courses. I want to give you the example, some of the world's leading successful and rich people, including some of the India's successful people, have a morning routine. You know, the Apple CEO, Tim Cook, he gets up at 3:45 a.m. Now, you know, you are managing your business, how busy you are. Can you imagine Tim Cook, who has to manage the whole world's operations and plan for maybe a decade or so in advance for everything, including the technology, the products, the global market? How much will be the workload he will be carrying? But that's where he uses the smart power, which is the mind power. That's your power. You don't depend on others so much. He spends time on, of course, email, but then he spends time on workout. He believes that when I do workout, my mind gets activated. So is the Xerox CEO, Ursula, the lady who is there. She spends time similarly on the workout. She wakes up early morning at 5 o'clock. Right? So some of the leading people, Nike CEO, right? He also gets up at 5:15. Right? He has his morning routine. He'll have a 1 liter of water, 2 cups of coffee. He will do get massaging done. And then he sits for 10 minutes of meditation. Then he continues for a workout. She continues for a workout. He continues for a workout. And there he appreciated the power of meditation so much. He did 10 days of silent retreat of Buddhists. Right? He believes in gratitude. Now that gives him the power for the global CEO to think innovatively, think creatively, take risks, take decisions, timely decisions, get the right people on his side, manage the governments. You can imagine. You can imagine our Prime Minister, 30 states to be managed. How big is that responsibility compared to our responsibility? So I'm summarizing, that is the mind power which some of these people have really capitalized. Use the mind power. You train the mind just like you train the driver. On the first day, driver doesn't know what to do, but in 20 days, 30 days, he knows the driving, and after 2 years and 3 years, he can maneuver through some of the busiest streets, some of the complex, right, the traffic routes. So friends, we will definitely gain if you train your mind and use the morning routine. That's the heart for success for some of the great successful people. So friends, we will be talking for the next session on the problems that you face when you want to change your habit. This is Mahendra Kapadia, peak performance and happiness coach with 35 plus years of industrial and corporate experience, with 8 years of learning on utilizing mind power from Brahma Kumaris is what I attend. I'll come to that later in my later video sessions. But there is a lot to capitalize from the mind power. So we'll see you again in our next session, day 3, knowing about what obstacles you will face when you want to incorporate these good habits. So all the best until then. Thank you.